Two, one. Hi, this is Jacob Mahler. This is my entrepreneurship interview for Entrepreneurship and Society. I am here with local business owner and entrepreneur and University of Utah alumni, Ben Norton. So, Ben, if you could just introduce yourself and tell us what opportunity space your company's in and how it really got started in the beginning.
Sure. So we're a promotion company that spans 4 states right now, 5 states actually. And yeah, we started with, I just kind of noticed my partner had a talent for booking these artists that he'd been booking for about 4 or 5 years and didn't really have the business knowledge to build a company. And so me and one of my other friends kind of just built a business around him and let him run.
Awesome. Yeah, you just found that open space. Cool. So in our class, we've been learning about the 5 values of a company. So they are the value in use, value in exchange, value in distribution, value in finance, and value in fitness. And I was hoping we could just go one by one and see how these apply to your company. So cool. Let's start with value in use. That's just what use your customers are receiving, how they're satisfied with that experience that they're having, etc.
Definitely. So we really try and elevate the experience as much as we can through, a proper facility that you bring it to, different sound equipment that is proper for each show that you're bringing, like whether you're bringing a country show versus, a hip hop show, it's going to be a lot different sound equipment wise. And so we try and elevate the experience that way.
For sure. Next would be value in exchange. That's the experience that they have, like minus the price point. So how do you think your company does in that area?
So we definitely try and give a few months to announce the show so that people who are excited to see them really have that buildup of anticipation. And then, that definitely helps as we're pushing forward. As the shows come up, people get a little bit more excited, and we can see that in the ticket sales. Yeah.
Awesome. So you think that they're satisfied if what's the price point around? Is it higher than usual or about equal?
It's about equal. It really does depend on the show and how often they've come. We would charge a little bit more at the beginning, but we've kind of leveled things out right now.
Awesome. Very cool. Next is value and distribution. That's like how many people can you reach, and like how far do they travel to come see your shows?
Definitely. So it's pretty easy for us to sell tickets because we usually use like third-party vendors such as Smith Tix or ShowClicks, which are available in multiple states and make it very easy for us to book and reach target audiences. We definitely do have people coming from out of state for Salt Lake shows or Springfield, Missouri shows, there's definitely a lot of out of state people, and it's pretty easy to get their attention with social media marketing and etc.
For sure. And they're coming from out of state because they're unable to get access to that artist performing anywhere close, right?
Correct. Yes,
okay,
usually.
Cool. So you kind of have like a little monopoly on that. Cool. Next is value in finance. That's just how well your company, is able to balance the books and like why that's important in your company as a whole.
Definitely. So for finance, you really need to have your thumb on the numbers at all times. If you don't have a solid finance and accounting method, you're gonna make poor decisions based off of the capital that you think you have, but you don't. So I'd say finance is really one of the more important things, especially when starting a business. You really need to keep track of every little thing and know where your money's coming from and where it's going.
All right, cool. Yeah, so clean books, the most important. Awesome. Next is value in fitness. However, like your ability to grow, adapt, and overcome in the future. Maybe something you guys are trying to change in the future to stay relevant in society.
Definitely. So we're trying to target markets that haven't really been tapped as much. Things like in the Midwest, and move into areas where there's not as much competition, so that we can build as a company and keep expanding as a company. We wouldn't want to just go straight to LA and try and book a bunch of shows in a club that's been run by a bunch of people out there. So we try and find markets where there's not a whole lot of people bringing anything in, and then build in there.
Sure, trying to find that open opportunity space.
Definitely.
Cool. Next is governance, or next let's do resources. What were some resources that were available to you starting out?
Definitely. So it was important for us to have proper venue space and build good relationships with the venue owners in certain areas. We've now moved into purchasing and leasing our own venues so that we can more properly dominate the market. And Yeah, we really try, and again, like we were saying, the sound experience is just subpar in most cities, and so upgrading that really helps bring more people into the shows once they hear it and hear the sound and really know what they're going for.
For sure. You talked about maybe buying a venue to make it so you own. Would that, if you buy the venue, would that be lowering your prices, or would you just like increase your margin?
So at that point, you're not having to pay for things like security, and it's all tied in. So there's more money to be made if you own the venue. You also have more pull, because if you own a venue, you can route certain tours through multiple states, which
Sure.
really helps get people engaged and really want the artists. If they're not going to book with someone in the same city with us, if they're going to book with someone else that's in the same city as us, if we're going to bring them to 3 shows in multiple states.
Sure. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And then lastly would be governance. That's just like how you manage your resources and maybe some advice that you could give with governance.
Definitely. So it's really important to have clear goals, not necessarily a specific timeline. You definitely want to outline a timeline, but you want to make sure the job gets done right, and then make sure everyone's following through on those goals. Timelines can be pretty relative. So I just think, having clear goals and a great follow through is the best way to make a company work.
Awesome. And then very lastly, if you could just give some advice or, words of inspiration to some future entrepreneurs, what would you give us?
Sure. Depending on the business you're starting, it's definitely not always easy. So just make sure you're able to roll with the punches, and you can really, bring people together, and not in times of stress when there's huge problems in front of you.
Sure,
just be able
sure.
to roll with the punches.
Yeah, being able to roll with the punches. Well, awesome. I thank you. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day, and look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah, definitely. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.
Yeah, you too. And